New Year's, a momentous occasion for almost every country in the world. A time of celebration, reflection, new beginnings, and joy. However, as you can expect, different countries have their own traditional customs. Over in the eastern part of the world, specifically East Asia, many countries follow the lunar calendar, meaning they celebrate the Lunar New Year, also known as Chinese New Year. This calendar uses the moon's lunar cycle to determine the month and day, rather than what the vast majority of the world is used to. The lunar calendar also has 12 months, except they have 29 days instead of the 30 and 31 days. It also calculated leap years, except instead of adding a day every 4 years, they added a whole month every 3 years. Given this difference, when compared to the Gregorian calendar, the Lunar New Year typically takes place a month after January 1st. From the bustling streets of China, through the lively vibes of Korea, to the dynamic scenes of Vietnam, the Lunar New Year goes beyond mere celebration. It's a heartfelt homage to cultural pride and the promise of new beginnings. It is a 15-day-long celebration that lights up East Asia with joy and age-old traditions. Families unite, creating a magical atmosphere that's palpable. Homes are alive with laughter and the tempting aromas of festive dishes. It's a time for honoring ancestors, hoping for prosperity and health, and celebrating the sense of unity that binds communities together. The streets are alive with colorful parades, the tantalizing smell of food, and the brilliance of fireworks that light up the night sky, bidding farewell to the old year and welcoming the new with open arms and hearts full of hope. However, as we turn our gaze to Japan, we notice a distinct shift. Amongst its neighbors, Japan celebrates the New Year on January 1st, marked by the Gregorian calendar. This choice is not just a different way of tracking time, it reflects Japan's unique historical journey, a path of cultural evolution and advancement that sets it apart from its neighbors. Let's travel back to a transformative period in Japan's history, around the year 1853, when Japan was still under the rule of their last shogun. Japan had long been closed off to the rest of the world in an effort to stop foreign influence in their country. During this time, Japan was much like the other East Asian countries in that they still used the lunar calendar. As the 19th century progressed, the outside world was rapidly changing, driven by the Industrial Revolution, new technologies, and the expansion of Western powers. With the arrival of the United States Navy in 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry demanded the opening of Japan's borders, permitting trade and travel. Japan stood at a crossroads, to cling to the past or to embrace modernization and open up to the world. Reluctantly, Japan signed the Treaty of Kanagawa, officially opening their borders. This decision, along with various other changes, led to discontent amongst the Japanese people. Ultimately, in 1868, Japan entered a new era known as the Meiji Restoration. Under Emperor Meiji, ushered in an age of remarkable transformation. Society, the economy, the military, and even the way time was measured were all redefined. Okuma's memoirs offer insight into the reasons behind Japan's transition to the Gregorian calendar, a change not fully realized until 1898. He outlines two main motivations. The first aimed at establishing equality among all Japanese citizens, famously leading to the abolition of the samurai class. Okuma argued that numerous temple priests, who traditionally managed the lunar calendar, enjoyed special privileges, and that maintaining their roles would conflict with the new government's core philosophies and bureaucracy. The second reason was that Japan had adopted many Western political, social, and economic institutions, government bureaucracy, as well as ideas and production methods. And while these changes helped Japan rapidly industrialize and adapt to the modern age, it was not without its challenges. In 1871, the government introduced a monthly salary system for public servants, adhering to the lunar calendar, which had been in use since the late Edo period and included a 13th month every 3 years. Using their traditional calendar would disrupt government finances due to irregular paydays. Notably, 1873 was set to have an extra month, complicating the financial situation further. For these reasons, Japan ultimately opted for the Western Gregorian calendar. The sudden shift, announced with less than a month's notice, plunged Japan into chaos. Yet the crisis was mitigated by Fukuzawa Yukichi, a Meiji-era educator, who published a pamphlet explaining the new calendar's scientific basis, its operation, and how to read it. In 1898, it was discovered that the hurried adoption of the Western calendar in 1872 had overlooked a crucial detail. The years divisible by 4 are considered leap years, unless they are also divisible by 100 and not by 400. For example, 1900 is divisible by both 4 and 100, but not 400. Therefore, 1900 was not a leap year. This oversight meant Japan was essentially using the Julian calendar's system with Gregorian dates. If they left the calendar this way, they would have been out of sync by a whole day by the year 1900. To correct this, an imperial order was promptly issued. The adoption of the Gregorian calendar was a pivotal moment, not just a change in timekeeping, but a significant symbol of Japan's commitment to modernity. It signaled Japan's readiness to join the international community on equal footing, a bold declaration of its newfound identity. Japan was no longer isolated, celebrating New Year's Day on January 1st, aligning itself with the Western world. This change was about more than convenience. It was a profound statement of Japan's aspirations, respecting its rich history while eagerly shaping its future. This shift in calendars was a clear message to both its citizens and the world. Japan was poised for action, ready to make their mark and influence on the world. However, this change in their calendar didn't necessarily mean letting go of its cherished traditions. As Japan opened its doors wider to Western influences, its society underwent a remarkable transformation. Railroads connected distant cities in a matter of hours, the telegraph made communication almost instantaneous, and Western-style buildings started dotting the landscape. Despite these rapid changes, the heart of Japan's culture remained unchanged. The country found a unique way to blend these new influences with its age-old customs, a skillful balance that is vividly displayed in its celebration of the New Year. Traditionally, years are viewed as completely separate, with each new year providing a fresh new start. Similar to its neighbors, prior to New Year's Day, it is important that personal affairs and duties are completed. This means that bills must be paid, arguments must be settled, clothes must be washed, and the house must be cleaned. This is done so that you do not bring negative feelings, bad luck, and old business into the new year. Like those of us in the West, Japan also embraces an end-of-year party, Bonenkai, which translates to Forget the Year Party, which takes place on New Year's Eve and is typically celebrated with coworkers or friends. While partying with friends is just how you'd imagine it, a Bonenkai celebrated with coworkers is a completely different story. Similar to Nomikai, which is a tradition where employees are expected to have food and drinks with their boss and colleagues after work, Bonenkai is the same. From the employee's point of view, many feel that attendance at these parties are forced, and that they're actually being held hostage since they are pressured into spending their night drinking and engaging in small talk. On the other side of that coin is Shinenkai, which translates to New Year's Party. This is the same as Bonenkai, except these gatherings are held throughout the month of January and are meant to celebrate and wish for success and happiness in the new year. In addition to Bonenkai and Shinenkai, Japan also has its more wholesome traditions. Shogatsu is the official name for the Japanese New Year. This celebration is much quieter compared to the Lunar New Year festivities in other parts of Asia. It's a time focused on family and reflection, rather than loud parties. Shogatsu begins on January 1st, as the temple bells rings at midnight. These bells ring a total of 108 times. 8 to close out the old year, and 100 to usher in the new year. The deep toll of midnight bells is heard across temples throughout Japan, each ring inviting people to reflect on the past year and to look forward with hope. While Shogatsu is only recognized as a holiday on January 1st, many businesses will remain closed until January 3rd to enjoy the festivities. Perhaps the most iconic East Asian New Year's tradition is the red envelope, or otoshidama. Children receive red envelopes that contain money from their elders as a gesture of goodwill and prosperity. Meanwhile, the tradition of sending nengajo, New Year's greeting cards, keeps the spirit of connection and community alive, even in the digital age. Shogatsu is a time for family gatherings where special meals play a central role in the celebrations. Ozoni, a soup with mochi, rice cake, and osechi ryori, a collection of dishes each symbolizing good fortune for the new year, are prepared with care. Some examples of osechi dishes are datemaki, a sweet rolled omelet mixed with fish paste, ibi, skewered prawns cooked with sake and soy sauce, and kamaboko, a broiled fish cake. These meals are steeped in tradition, with each ingredient and dish carrying its own meaning, from happiness and health to prosperity and long life. Preparing and sharing these foods is a cherished ritual, a way for families to bond over shared traditions and to pass on wishes for the coming year to each other. The practice of eating these special foods during Shogatsu is more than just a culinary tradition. It's a bridge between generations, connecting people to their ancestors and to the cultural heritage of Japan. It's an opportunity for families to come together, share stories of the past, and express their hopes and dreams for the future. When I said Japan doesn't celebrate the Lunar New Year, I lied, sort of. While the rest of Japan welcomes the New Year on January 1st, with Shogatsu, regions like Okinawa and Kagoshima continue to honor the traditions of the Lunar New Year. These celebrations showcase the cultural richness and diversity within Japan, bursting with life, color, and tradition. In Okinawa, the Lunar New Year, or Uchinanchu no Shinshun, is a time of community and celebration. The island comes alive with traditional performances such as the lion dance, believed to bring good luck and ward off evil spirits, and Isa drumming, a form of folk dance unique to Okinawa that connects the community to its ancestors. These festivities are vibrant expressions of Okinawan culture, filled with music, dance, and the gathering of families. Similarly, the Amami Islands of Kagoshima Prefecture celebrate the Lunar New Year with their own unique customs. The islands are filled with the sound of traditional songs, or shimauda, which tell stories of love, life, and the beauty of nature. These songs and dances are integral to the New Year celebrations, reflecting the island's deep connection to their natural surroundings and cultural history. These Lunar New Year celebrations in Okinawa and Kagoshima are not just about preserving old customs. They are lively affirmations of identity and pride in their cultural heritage. They stand as vivid reminders of Japan's diversity, with each region contributing its distinct hue to the country's cultural mosaic. Through these festivities, the spirit of the Lunar New Year continues to thrive, connecting the past and present Japanese traditions. Going through the history and essence of Japan's New Year's celebrations shows us how a nation's way of marking time can reveal deep shifts in change, identity, and goals. Choosing January 1st to start the new year showcases Japan's unique journey through history when compared to its neighboring countries. It is a journey marked by the openness of Western influences while holding tight to its cultural heart. Celebrating Shogatsu, Japan is really saying who it is, honoring a tradition that links the old with the new. It's a kind of celebration that talks about universal themes like renewal, family, and the ongoing march of time. As Japan stands today, it serves as a living testament to the power of cultural continuity amidst the ever-changing times. Its New Year celebrations, both Shogatsu and the regional Lunar New Year, are vibrant affirmations of a society that cherishes its past, lives fully in its present, and looks forward to its future with hope and unity. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.